Hello, this is not a spring chicken. Yes, we are still here in Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show, and you're wondering, well, it doesn't look like we're in Vegas. Well, this happens to be a different seating, and if you've taken a look, we do have kind of about the same background because we've had some very, very long days, so even getting the two of us in the same place to try and do Oldecam over at CES, well,
we've tried,
but
we have done lots.
I know. So meanwhile, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today. I'll start then. And the next Obama chapter, change coming to the White House.
Well, yeah, about everybody that's working for him has quit.
I know. Amazing, isn't it?
Basically, it's called the rats leaving a sinking ship.
Representative Giffords had been the target of threats, a suspicious package.
So about most of the Republicans out there, but if it's a Republican that gets a threat, it's not serious. If it's a Democrat, it is.
And House suspends vote on health care after Arizona shooting.
Well, yeah, because the Democrats are blaming the Republicans. They said that someone said Sarah Palin should be jailed because she's responsible for the deaths of all those people.
But that had nothing to do with it.
Well, yeah, they said that she is the divisive and turning this nation into a war zone. I mean, they're really terrified of her.
And Obama will get to the bottom of the Arizona shooting.
We already know who did it, folks.
Well, what did they...
Okay, but he wants to prove the Republicans were responsible.
Of course.
And it's not going to happen because they're going to find out the guy was a long-time criminal and a member of the Democratic Party.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
So then they'll really wonder what happened.
That's right.
And police find 14 decapitated bodies in Mexico resort city.
And they're going to keep finding them because the Mexican government does nothing to stop it.
They don't?
No, they just let it go on, so.
And Obama looked to the public, not Congress.
Well, yeah, he's going to try to convince... he figured the reason why he couldn't... everything is so disliked is because he didn't explain it well enough to the American people.
Oh, that's why?
Everybody got sick and tired of this guy saying it to the American people. I mean, that's all he did was come on television.
And Motorola Zoom tablet crowned the best gadget at CES.
I know, but I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it?
No.
Oh, man. Now I really want to go see that one. That one's one of those press conferences we wanted to go to. Well, actually, we couldn't because we were going to Sony. But they even closed that one to the fire marshal.
I know. I mean, it got to be ridiculous. Okay, what happened was too many cruddy people that weren't actually members of the press went into those press conferences because, the press no longer is allowed to go to press conferences.
I know. They were, part of it is they had no more space. The fire marshal closed them down.
Yep.
Well, actually, whoever was in there could stay. Wow. I talked to one of the companies, actually, the next company we're talking about, which is Samsung. Yeah. I spoke with them, and they said, we could have fit more people in the room, but the fire marshal closed it down.
I know. Well, because there was too many people in the hallways is what it was.
Oh. And Samsung announces record investment and hiring.
Yeah. And I thought that Samsung had a problem before, and all of a sudden Samsung is spending money like it's water.
Well, it's kind of funny. I was talking to one of the companies out there, and then they said, so-and-so says this, and so-and-so says that. And I said, yeah, it's usually all the competitors spreading rumors.
Yeah. Well, we know about competitors. You got hit in the face with your camera.
Not to mention, I did.
Yeah.
Because we were actually doing an interview at a competitor's booth that was a competitor to the camera that we had.
Yeah.
And
you accidentally got hit in the face with the camera from the competitor.
After they had joked about it.
Yeah.
Before.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Spending data shows December sales strong.
Well, the problem was it wasn't what they needed. They needed big ticket items, and consumer electronics, they didn't get it. And they already have now said the data the sales weren't as good as they'd expected. I mean, it was a disaster, folks, but they always change their opinion after they get caught and after the weekend hits. they then say, well, things weren't as good as what we thought.
FCC chairman, more broadband is the top priority.
It's not going to happen because nobody has any money. They can't build the towers. They can't do this. They can't do that. And it's a total and absolute disaster. And I mean, our broadband is far slower than that of other countries.
Oh, it has been. I have to tell you, it's been so frustrating this week.
Yeah.
Because here we're at a gadget show,
Yeah.
and everybody depends on what?
The
Broadband, cell phones,
everything you think of, and there isn't any usable stuff. Isn't that something?
And one of the things that even though we have a press room, we've got wired connections. First of all, there's been so many people there trying to utilize it that
there's no consistency on the speed. One minute you can do something in 5-10 minutes. The next thing you load, it can take you a half hour. And a smaller file.
I know, that's the frustrating part. Oh, and not to mention jamming cell phones.
Oh yeah, the whole place was a dead zone for cell phones. But I can tell you, I mean, if you jam
I can tell you. and spending Gates to cut back on military health care because of costs.
Well, yeah, isn't that amazing? They can't provide decent health care for the military or in the military hospitals because they don't have the money to pay for it yet. The government who can't run the military health care, can't run the medical hospitals for the veterans, is going to run a health care system for everybody else.
And Ford touts electronics and electric focus.
Well, yeah, but it's okay. All the people I was listening to in the press room, basically, it's just all a bunch of. They all think like I do that none of this stuff was ever meant to go any further than prototypes.
And or like a concept. Yeah, prototypes. And Panasonic using 3D products to expand its brand awareness.
No, it's not. I mean, they've got tons of 3D products. Ask them where it's going to be sold at and when it's going to come out.
Well, that's that prototype part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I think we're finding more of that. I drove in a bubble car, the GM Envy or EN-V.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that bubble car was around when I was young.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They tried to sell that thing with the bubble front. Well, they basically, it was originally a bubble-off fighter airplanes they put on. You open up, go look at an old Roger Moore Saint, and you'll see him in some of his episodes step out of a bubble car.
Well, it reminded me of something like from the Jetsons.
Yeah, you sit there and open the thing, the whole front comes up.
And auto sales up for the first time since the recession.
I find that amazing to believe, considering that Obama will tell you that the sales have been roaring for months. Now, this last sales period, they were up.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah.
Insurers take on Toyota in acceleration lawsuits.
Well, yeah, because Toyota is settling. Okay, when they settled with the highway patrol officer who died because the acceleration because of it, they basically admitted there was a problem.
Oh.
Yeah, when you admit there's a problem, they hang you by it. So
which is why sometimes they don't even settle on these.
For instance, the Disney company will take on everybody, and rather than to give anybody a chance to win a suit against them.
Well, because it sets a precedence, right?
Right. You got to just simply try to crush everybody.
And bacteria also removes spilled methane from the Gulf.
Well, it's totally and absolutely impossible. I mean, okay, on the one hand, Obama wants to sue British Petroleum and the builder of the thing, and on the other hand, he keeps telling everybody there's no damage.
And new computer chips help PCs compete with tablets. Wouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah, the tablet is nothing more than a half of a PC. That's all it is, folks.
Yeah, because actually, I have a tablet. When they used to call them tablets,
yeah,
they were actually.
That's right.
And it's actually a fairly recent model. It's really a laptop.
Yeah, well, their tablets, the tablet things are the Vanos now, which is what used to be the IBM ThinkPad. So.
Lenovo.
Lenovo.
And remotes coming to Netflix streaming devices.
I don't know why they'd want it. That makes very little sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. A CDC seatbelts use reaches 85%.
It's supposed to be 100%, so saying 85%.
I thought everybody had to use it.
Everybody has to use them.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Well, a never-ending campaign cycle means you're going to have to continue to listen to our president telling everybody how great he is. So...